We've had a long day, but we got a couple more speakers. And you know what about leaders is we need to be fed. So all these leaders that we've had in this room today has been an inspiration to me, and I believe each one of us have a message to share that we can grow from what we've learned today and all the inspiration that we've heard in the different fields. My name is Carla Keebler, and I'm going to talk about the book that we have, a book collaboration, is Cultivate Your Mindset for Success. And it is a book collaboration that's an international best-selling author, a best-selling book. And I have it right here. We do have some available over there on the table if you would like to have one. We have 17 amazing authors from around the world. And can you imagine the different places of the world? You have the different experiences. You have the different techniques that you use, a different way of communicating. And so this book is filled with exceptional authors that shares their experiences. And it's to help to give you hope, to give you the mindset that you need to have that mindset of success. And success is different for everyone, right? We have life success that we need to have success in. We have the business, we have the ministry, and everything that we have in life, comes from our mindset. And that's what this book is about cultivating. So just like a farmer does, what happens to a farmer? They have to know how to cultivate the ground. They have to know how to nurture. They have to know the seasons for what is going on in their life. And if you don't know that, then you could maybe miss opportunities. You can miss things in your life, that other people may not be able to thrive from it. But my part of the book collaboration, part of that talks about challenging limiting beliefs. And challenging limiting beliefs is something that most people do not want to take the time to do, because that takes the requirements of your energy and your time to be able to really dig within yourself and to know, why is it that I'm here? How did I get here? And what is it that I need to do? So there's a lot of things in our life that I think holds us back, even as leaders. Sometimes we think we've tapped into the next level of our purpose, our next level of our vision, and we don't see that there's more. And I believe everybody go like this. Touch your wrist right here. You're alive, right? You feel a heartbeat? Well, that means there's room for growth. That means there's room that you have to impact other people along the way. And sometimes we have different levels, and sometimes we have different seasons. You may not end up where you think you started at, and your journey will process, it will grow and it cultivate along your way. And my chapter is, get my book, you can read it, and this is going to be the story behind my part of what I wrote. And my chapter starts on page 84, and it is to unveil your greatness and create your life. How would you like to create your life? If you could do anything, if God was to say, guess what? You can do anything that you want to do. He gives you permission. You have the energy. You have all the resources that you need. What would your life look like? What would you create in your life? Would it be to help families? Would it be to help businesses? Would it be able to help school systems? What does your life look like? And you have the power to do that. A lot of times it's our limiting beliefs that we have that stops us. And my motivation behind my chapter talked about challenging limiting beliefs. And my story about that is that when I was very shy growing up, I was extremely shy. I was painfully shy. And it was so bad that some people wondered if I could even speak. That's how bad that was. And so if people would talk about something, I would desire in my heart, I would long to be able to contribute to conversation, to be able to add value, to be able to give my opinions. I longed for that, but guess what? I stayed in the pain of my silence. And there's one time when I read a chapter, a verse in the Bible, I had read this chapter many times, read this verse many times. And it was 2 Timothy 1:7. So, for God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. In some translations, said God did not give us a spirit of timidity. Well, I had read this verse many times, but today, that verse changed my life when I read that verse. And it changed the rest of my life because I always accepted myself as I'm just reserved. I'm just a quiet person. That's how God made me. I don't have to speak up. I don't have to just keep rambling on to hear myself talk. So I would just consider myself as reserved. Well, how many times have you in your life accepted something that's not truth about you? Has anybody ever had something goes on in their mind that they've had to challenge, that they've had to say, if you want your life to be like this, if you desire to look like this, but you're living this way, that means you need to challenge your belief system. That means you need to, why am I like this when I'm desiring to be like this? Because God has put within each one of us, He has put gifts, He has put talents, He has put purpose, and He has put dreams inside of each one of us. And so if your life is not reflecting what's in here, then it's a time to check your belief system. Am I really living the way God wants me to? If I feel like this, but my life is reflecting this, it's time to challenge those limiting beliefs. And so I did that moment. I mean, I'd read that verse many times, but I asked God, I'm like, God, if I am not supposed to be like this, then why am I like this? What is it that what caused me to be this way? And I believe that when you ask God a question, sincerely from your heart, He's going to answer you. And He answered me immediately. And He took me back to a time, brought back to my remembrance, my conscious mind, and to a time when I was 8 years old. And I heard and I seen this conversation when someone just a little older than me said, no one cares what you have to say, so just keep your mouth shut and don't speak. Well, there it was. That was for decades. I had allowed those words that I really never thought about. Sometimes that's what happens in our life. We have limitations on us, and we don't question it because that's just who I am. I accept that that's who I am. But when you start questioning it, you will get answers. When you sincerely, with all your heart, ask, why am I like this? You will get an answer. So at that moment, at first I got angry. I'm like, I have allowed these words for decades to miss business opportunities. I did not see my value, so I was in unhealthy relationships. And there was so much in my life that I missed out on because I would not speak up for myself, and I just would not talk. Before that time, I was extremely shy, and I was in an unhealthy relationship. I did not go a lot into the positive part of life. But since then, since that transformational time in my life, it's really changed. I challenged my limited beliefs, and so it changed my world, it changed my life, it changed my history. But not only did it change me, it changes generations. And that's what we do as leaders. We think a lot of times, well, how successful am I? What can I do? Well, you're not only changing yourself, but you're changing your family. First of all, you should be changing your family. That is your first part, first ministry, first purpose in life. And then you're changing their lifestyle. You're changing their purpose of how they see life, or how they, the attitudes they have because of you taking that chance, that time to be able to change yourself. And as leaders, it is about others. So, since then, I married the man of my dreams. I got out of those negative relationships. We call him Sir James. But I married the man of my dreams. We now have 3 businesses. And I do speak up and I do contribute to my life and how I know that God has given me a purpose. He's given me a plan. And that's what my goal is in my life, to fulfill. I'm not going to be one that's in the graveyard that goes with my dreams, my goals. Not going to happen. And I ask every single one of you to not let that happen to you. No matter where you're at right now, there's more. There's more to life. There's more people to reach. There's more souls to get saved. There's more impact to be made in this world that we cannot even imagine. So if you let God guide you, then guess what? It's going to be beyond your wildest dreams. More than you could ever dream. I've had ministers try to keep me quiet. Not all ministers are like that. But to keep me silent again, years later, to try to keep me silent again. You're a woman. Women don't get up in church. Women can't do this. But guess what? I know that just because that person in that row said that did not mean that God said it. So it's my identity that I had to learn to speak up. No, I am a woman of purpose. I can empower others, and I can help change generations. And that is my goal, to be able to change generations and to have leaders around the world to know they can change generations. It is about changing people. It's about changing lives. And the very tool that the enemy, the devil, tried to keep me down, the very tool was my voice. It is the very tool that God has allowed me to now speak to people globally around the world, to mentor, to coach, and to help families and to help businesses to be able to rise above that chaos, to challenge those limiting beliefs that tries to keep them down, and to be able to empower everyone that I possibly can. Because I'm going to never be quiet again. I do not let those words ever define me again. And so I am very thankful for the opportunity to be here, and to be here is a testament to my journey. To know that nothing's impossible. That the world may try to keep you quiet. The world may try to say, what are you doing? That's crazy. That's stupid. You can't achieve that goal. For every single leader in this room, I ask you to challenge any limitations that tries to come against you. To challenge that belief that says you don't have another level of success, that you don't have another level of potential, because you have untapped potential that you will, as long as you're breathing, God's going to always want you to grow. He's going to always have another level for you. We just have to trust him. We have to know that, because that's what's happened to me. Because if God shows you your final result, you know what? He probably scares to death, and we probably just freeze up. But trust in him to let him to guide you, and to know that you are a person of influence, you are a person of impact, and leaders need leaders. So that's what Rael is doing here, to bring leaders together, to stay connected, to know that if you need somebody, we're here. Your brother or sister is here for you. We may be from different parts around the world, but guess what? We're still human, and we still need each other. Everybody wants to be loved, heard, and accepted, right? We're part of a community now. We're family now. And Rael has brought everybody into this place to know that we can make a difference. And she's making a difference. You know, she has really done a lot, you know, and so honored to be part of her life. And she's been an amazing part of my life. 2 years ago, I believe, it was a live podcast, and that right there was a stepping stone for me. And that's what kept me going, okay, I can do this. I can do this. And so you have been encouragement to me, you know, throughout my life, and I appreciate everything that you've done for me. Thank you so much. So I appreciate this opportunity, and like I say, I encourage everyone, whatever you're going through, whatever you have, the next level is always achievable, it's attainable, and we are here together to change the world and make a difference in this world. So thank you so much.